15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time. Thank you for coming back to listen to another episode. It is Christmas week and then next week we got New Year's week and then we are ready in 2026. I hope that you're closing on a high, that you are closing on strong terms, and thank you very much for coming back over and over again. The listenership has grown tremendously and I'm going to keep pushing. This is episode 160 or something, around 160 episodes, and 2026 is going to be even stronger. So keep on coming back to the Success Blueprint so that we can get better at this thing called business and life. But let's get right into it. Today we're going to talk about the confidence, competence mismatch and why noise and invisibility both kill progress. Confidence without competence is noise. Competence without confidence is invisibility. This matters because most breakdowns in leadership, careers, and credibility, even in your personal life, don't come from a lack of talent. They come from misaligned signal. Either someone speaks with certainty they haven't earned, or someone with real capability stays quiet long enough to be forgotten. That's what we talk about. In life, this mismatch creates inattention, frustration, resentment, self-doubt, or overcompensation, which we see every day, and that's something that can ruin everything. There's nothing like overcompensation. It's so visible in people that are battling with it. In business, it creates costly decisions, misplaced authority, and teams following the wrong voices. So this episode is not about being louder. It's not about shrinking either. It's about synchronizing what you know, what you can do, and how you show up until authority becomes natural, calm, and undeniable. And this will work for business, in leadership, executive, in your personal life, relationships. It doesn't matter. So what's the problem here? Modern systems reward confidence faster than competence. Visibility often precedes proof. That creates two distorted survival strategies. Number one, projection without depth. People learn to sound certain before they are correct. You will find this in many meetings. You listen a bit, you lean back, and you watch what's going on, particularly in corporate structures. It is ripe. Number two, depth without projection. People wait to feel ready before they speak, act, or lead. And both are flawed. On the one side, overconfidence erodes trust slowly, then suddenly. Underconfidence erodes opportunity quietly and permanently on the other side. Tribe, the real issue isn't personality or upbringing. It's a broken calibration between internal capability and external expression. And when calibration is off, even the best people stall. What's the cost and consequences here? What's the currency that we pay here? When confidence outruns competence, teams follow clarity that collapse under pressure. Errors multiply because dissent feels unsafe, and credibility drains one decision at a time. When competence outruns confidence, ideas die before they test it. Leadership defaults to whoever speaks first and not best, and quiet resentment builds as weaker performers advance faster. Both paths sabotage growth, one loudly and the other one silently. And here's the truth that I want to share with you, tribe. The world does not reward potential. It rewards expressed, trusted capability. But today, I'll give you a 5-step toolkit that you can implement right now to dive into this deeper and get it right. Step number 1, diagnose the direction of the mismatch. Before fixing the gap, you must know which way it bends. The action that you take here, ask yourself 2 blunt questions. Where am I confident without consistent proof? And where do I have proof but hesitate to show it? And then you map it. Overconfidence zones where certainty exceeds evidence. Underconfidence zones where evidence exceeds visibility. Most people have both in different domains. Precision starts right here. Number 2, build evidence-anchored confidence. Confidence should rest on receipts, not reassurance. The action that you take here, create a competence ledger with 3 categories. Problems you've solved under pressure. Skills you've tested in real conditions. And outcomes you can point to without exaggeration. You review this weekly. This stabilizes confidence without inflating ego. You stop guessing who you are because you know. Step number 3, convert competence into signal. Competence that stays internal might as well not exist. The action that you take here, practice translating thinking into clean, assertive statements. Here's my assessment. Here's what I do next. Here's the risk if we don't act. No hedging, no over-explaining. Signal isn't volume, it's clarity under constraint. Step number 4, stress test before you assert. Authority grows when confidence survives friction. The action that you take here before stating certainty publicly. Pressure, test privately. Invite the strongest counter-argument. Ask what would disprove your position. Identify where you could be wrong. Remember, this is the basic foundations of critical thinking. This prevents false certainty and builds durable confidence, the kind that doesn't collapse when challenged. And step number 5, align identity with repetition. Authority is not a moment, it's a pattern. The action that you take here, adopt one identity statement. I'm someone whose confidence reflects preparation and proof. Then reinforce it daily through preparation before visibility, visibility after preparation, and feedback without defensiveness. When behavior and identity align, confidence stops feeling performative. This is your simple framework. Use it, implement it, and you will see how things will change. But why does this matter? Why does this change everything? The world doesn't suffer from a lack of intelligence. What it suffers from is misaligned authority. The loudest voices shape outcomes, not the best thinking. The most capable people often wait too long to step forward. And organizations confuse confidence with competence until reality corrects them. True authority is quiet, grounded, and resilient. It doesn't rush certainty. It doesn't hide capability. And it doesn't need to dominate the room to be felt. When competence and confidence move together, trust forms naturally. And trust is the currency everything else runs on. I've coached leaders whose confidence outpaced their capability. That's just what it is. Teams complied, then disengaged. Once preparation caught up with the presence, credibility returned. I've also coached deeply competent professionals who stayed invisible until they learned to speak decisively. Nothing about their skill changed. They signaled it, and their trajectory followed. Talent wasn't the differentiator. Alignment was. And that I find in coaching quite often. Let me give you some advanced strategies, some extra depth here. The calibration discipline. Match tone to evidence strength. Exploration sounds different from certainty, and it should. Counter-argument invitation. The fastest way to earn trust is to invite disagreement before others have to force it. That's what smart leaders do. Decide, then adjust. Move forward decisively while staying corrigible. Authority doesn't require inflexibility. And as always, let me give you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. So this week's challenge number 1, identify one area where competence exceeds confidence. Number 2, prepare one clear recommendation. Number 3, deliver it without hedging or apology. Number 4, invite feedback instead of approval. And number 5, record the outcome in your competence ledger. One clear signal is enough to shift how others perceive you. And you do this exercise over and over again. And that was it, a quick one for the week before Christmas. My call to action to you, if this episode recalibrated how you want to show up, share it with someone who's either too loud or too quiet for their own good. And then subscribe, leave a review, and join me next Monday. And that is what helps me to grow the tribe. Just copy the podcast episode link, share it on Facebook, Facebook Messenger, on WhatsApp, TikTok, wherever you communicate, and help me grow the tribe. And as per usual, let's not forget Doc Marty Mushrooms, the sponsor of this episode. Clear judgment under pressure requires cognitive stamina and emotional regulation. Doc Marty's blends support focus and resilience, essential for competence that holds when it's tested. So head over to docmarty.com. My listeners receive a 25% exclusive to the Success Blueprint discount on their first purchase. Use the code DAN20, DAN20 for a 25% discount on your first purchase. Thank you so much. And guys, I want to leave you with something in closing. The world doesn't need louder confidence. It doesn't need quieter competence either. It needs people whose certainty is earned, whose presence is grounded, and whose authority doesn't crack under pressure. Stop inflating confidence without proof and stop hiding competence behind hesitation. When skill and self-belief finally align, something changes. Not just how others respond to you, but how you trust yourself. And that's when authority stops being something you perform and becomes something you simply carry. Leadership, executive presence. That's what we're talking about. I hope that you have a fantastic week and a good Christmas, but I see you next week, Monday, on the 15-Minute Monday for the last one before 2026, and I hope you come back. And until then, I wish you a Merry Christmas, guys. I hope that you have a beautiful time with your family and loved ones, and I hear you next week. This was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on the Success Blueprint, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care.